Shalom Makim Wagwaf. First and foremost, before I start, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Aruchakwadash. Double honor to the elder apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutation to the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And just a little quick impromptu. I'm on my way to the plantation, but I was pondering in the spirit. When we read in the book of Sirach, the 39th chapter, the 28th verse, where it says, "There be spirits created for vengeance, and they pour out force, they lay on sword strokes, and appease the wrath of him that made them." And when you really think about it, Esau always been a spirit of vengeance. When you read, from the very beginning all the way to this point, all Esau has been is a spirit of vengeance against Jacob. Ever since that the birthrights are being supplanted. When Jacob supplanted him for that birthright, and Isaac gave the blessing to Jacob, Esau took it upon himself to take vengeance. Even that very statement that he made after he realized what happened, he said, "The days of mourning my father are at hand, where I will begin to slay my brother Jacob." That right there, that's a statement of I'm gonna get some get back. All right, I'm basically vengeance. All right, that shows you that his spirit is not upright, because we know in our law it tells us not to avenge the children of thy people, nor bear any grudges. We're supposed to love one another, but Esau, he doesn't confine to that. It's not in his spirit. He's all about vengeance. That's why he always gets justice. Anytime something evil happens to him, he always gets his justice. He believes in justice when it comes to him. But if we talk about reparations or what should happen or what should be done for the atrocities that was done against our people, they always tell us to forgive, forget, stop spreading hate. That was years ago. That was our forefathers. But he doesn't want you to forget 9/11. He doesn't want you to forget the Holocaust. He always been the spirit of vengeance, man. And like we always bring out in Psalm 17, where it says, "Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." Esau, he's the sword of the Most High. So even when the Lord gets vengeance upon his own people, he'll allow Esau to get his vengeance upon Jacob. Esau is really a spirit of vengeance. When after that happened with him supplanting the birthright, talking about Jacob, Yaquab, there was a time when he came back from Haran after he got his wives, Leah, Rachel, the two handmaids. He had all the 12 sons. He had all that cattle with him, because he got rich damn near working for Laban. But he knew he had to encounter Esau when he was returning back to the land, and he was fearful because he didn't know what Esau was going to try to do. But he knew that Esau had that spirit of vengeance upon him. So the spirit got on Jacob to actually basically they had to divide their company. Where they had to divide up, the camels and, all the cattle that he had, the handmaids, and then his sons. And basically they split into two. And he said, lest, Esau should smite, one of the company, the other can escape. So he had it already planned out that the moment he was going to meet Esau, that something was probably going to pop off. Because that Esau is the spirit of vengeance, man. He's always about get back. When he feels slighted in the least bit, he wants you persecuted at the fullest extent. And that's always been this devil, man. Can never get over it. But he could tell you to. You know, but before he met up with Esau, Jacob made a statement. I believe it was in Genesis, the 32nd chapter. He basically said, you know, deliver me, I pray thee, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, you know, for I fear him. And that was you know, that's a scripture that had me think about back to when King David prayed and said, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. And Esau, he definitely, when he met with Jacob, he met up with 400 men, 400 men, and they all had swords in their hands. So they're definitely the sword for sure, and they got that spirit of vengeance upon them. We read about the scriptures dealing with Esau, dealing violently against Jacob. It was about how Esau always avenged himself. But the thing is, we can't even avenge ourselves against Esau. Going back to the pact that he made with Cain, that if any man would you know, take vengeance upon Cain, you know, the Lord will basically take vengeance upon you sevenfold. So that's why when you try to do something against Esau, you ain't getting away with that. You know? That's why even that, when you read about that in Romans, the 13th chapter, you know, that he bears not the sword in vain. He's a avenger against evil. So that's why we're not supposed to try to rise up and resist the power that be, because the Lord, you know, put Esau in his position. You know, and that's why Esau in his position, you know, he's milking it, man. He's gonna milk that vengeance. As long as he has power and dominance, you know, he's gonna always, you know, maximize his ability to slay his brother Jacob and then keep you down, keep you from your excellency, basically make you suffer because because you know, we have that blessing, you know, because we're the next rulers on planet Earth, and this particular rulership is not going to be left to other people. It's not going to be succeeded. It's not going to be taken down. Nobody's going to have the ability to rise up and take us down and replace us in power. You know, like you had Lahab, you know, the elders was making videos about it, how that dude Lahab was saying that after that 1,000-year period, that the Russians are going to make war with the Israelites when we're back in the land. That's not going to happen. All right, it tells you that in Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, that we're going to get rid of all the weapons, and nations shall not learn war anymore. There ain't going to be any violence done in our land upon our borders. You know, Esau would beat and gotten all his vengeance, and then guess what? The Lord's going to get vengeance upon Esau by the hand of his people Israel. Ezekiel 25:12-14. You know, because all he did, you know, since he's been in power, he used every opportunity to bring violence against us. You know, even going back to when we was passing through in the wilderness, you know, when we got delivered out of Egypt, and you know, we were trying to pass through, and they wouldn't let us pass through. The elder, we were basically telling them, hey, let us pass through your country, you know, through your fields, through your vineyards. We won't even stop. We will not drink of the water of your wells. Just let us pass through. And they was like, nope. You try to pass through, we're gonna be forced to meet you with the sword. You know, that was what, Numbers, the 20th chapter. So every chance they got, man, this man was an asshole. So why be surprised when he's doing what he's doing today? You know, that MK Ultra maniac that they use for this false flag in Buffalo. You saw what was written on his assault rifle. Here's your reparations. That's how they truly feel about you. But it all goes back to that spirit of vengeance, man. All right, Amos, the 1st chapter. His anger did tear perpetually. It did not cast off pity. You know, that's going into that hatred and that vengeance. All right, what he did to us when we was fleeing out of Jerusalem, trying to escape those Babylonians, and he was chasing us down, saying, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. That's the spirit of vengeance. And that's why, because of the violence against his brother Jacob, Yaquab, shame shall cover him. All right? Since you wanted all this bloodshed and all this, revenge, the Lord allowed you to get it for only so long. You did it as, when we got out of Egypt, we warred with Amalek in the wilderness, to Babylon, to Haman, under the Persian Empire, under Xerxes. He tried to get all the Jews put on gallows, over to the Greeks, over to the Romans. The abomination of desolation both times. Those are all the times of vengeance, where Esau avenged himself upon us. The Ark of Titus, celebrating their triumphant over us, that was all about vengeance, man. You know? So, I thought about that. I was like, damn. Esau definitely is a spirit of vengeance. He's like the ultimate spirit of vengeance, man. And it seemed like he's a death angel for Jake, because when he slays Jake the way he do, nothing really happens to him like that. He get the slap on the wrist. Jake, they go out and march and cry about it, knowing that they ain't gonna get it. And then you got the fucking the sellout fake activists, these fake ass attorneys that come and represent our people, and those lawsuits for wrongful deaths, murder. And they only come in not because they want to get justice, but because they're trying to get paid. They're trying to get a check. And Esau, he gets a slap on the wrist. He might do a little time, maybe. This is all about vengeance, man. Because he's one of the spirits of vengeance. And what was his blessing? The sword. And one of the things that mentions about the spirits of vengeance, it talks about the sword. Fire being one of them, the teeth of wild beasts, but also the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. So when our people get killed by this devil, it was really is the Most High's vengeance, or the Most High using Esau's vengeance against Jacob, because it's ultimately the Lord's vengeance too. But because, this devil's doing it excessively because of his hatred, the Lord's going to finally allow us to get that vengeance in on him. And that's when when we get in our kingdom. And we're going to execute vengeance upon the heathen. Pursuant to Psalms 149, verse 5 on down. So hey, we gonna get it too. And then the Lord, he has his day of vengeance. And that's when he's going to take out this devil. And he's also going to kill 2/3 of our own people. So the Lord, ultimately he controls that. That's why he said, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. Vengeance belongs to him, so we really can't get vengeance on our own. That's why we got to wait upon him until he rises up to the prey. Okay? When he saw he's been in his feelings for all this time, and hey, he been getting his vengeance ever since. When he came back, out the bottomless pit, after we had them in subjection for a 1,000-year period, they came out of them caves, came down, and they came into power, and they took vengeance. They warred with the saints, and they prevailed over us. They killed us. They rejoiced over us when we was taken down. And they enjoyed seeing our dead bodies lying in the street of the great city. can spiritually call Sodom and Egypt. They would not suffer our bodies to be put in grave. All that is vengeance, man. All of it. And then all the things that they did to us from the moment they brought us over here. Hell, even before that, when they came over here and they slaughtered the northern tribes. They knew who these people were. They knew exactly who these people were. And they took them out. So that's why it says in James, you know, we're going to rejoice, man. When we get vengeance, it tells you that in James that he that showed no mercy, roughly paraphrasing it, but he shall have no mercy that have showed no mercy. You know? And we're gonna rejoice at that. That we're not gonna show him any mercy, just like he didn't show us any mercy. It's all gonna be justified when we get his ass. You know? So, you know, I hope I ain't reaching. You know, y'all brothers, you know, y'all could put y'all comments. But, you know, I thought about that. Like, yo, Esau, he's pretty much the ultimate spirit of vengeance. And he pours out force, man. He does it to the fullest extent, man. This motherfucker will drop a whole bomb on a whole community. You know, I was speaking with the brother Gabar Yahawda in Hawaii. The brother's originally from Philly, and he told me about what happened back in 1985, because I saw a small little piece on it. It was on Vice. How, you know, it was this little militant group. I forget what they were called. I think they were called Move. But the leader, you know, they had a history of you know, having a back and forth with the law enforcement, and they ended up getting involved. You know, and 10 years later, you know, after Jake then renovated this whole community, this housing community, and Esau came and basically they had a standoff, and they wouldn't come out of their homes. They had a siege basically, and they did them like Waco. And I think like 11 people died, you know, a few of them being little children. And they dropped a bomb on their whole complex, destroyed their whole housing community, man. Dropped a complete bomb on them, you know, and left it on fire. They left it on fire for hours. They wanted those people to burn. Did them just like the Branch Davidians, man. And that mayor was a racist. He hated Jake, and they allowed that to happen, man. You know? So this devil, everything he does is about vengeance, man. So hey, when we get vengeance upon him, it's going to be justified. All right? But we can't do that on this side. We got to wait for the Lord. We got to wait for the power. But just wait till the Lord put the spirit of vengeance on his elect, on his battle axe and weapons of war. Wait till that happens, man. We're gonna have fun, man. But anyway, you know, I just want to go into that, man. Hey, Esau, he's always been about the spirit of vengeance. He is a spirit of vengeance. That motherfucker's a death angel, man. All right, what he's been doing with all these mass shootings, yeah, he's ultimately that spirit. All right, he's definitely the sword of the Most High. So anyway, you know, I'm gonna end off with that. You know, I'm getting close to the plantation. You know, Lord willing, you brothers and your futures were edified. Call Lord Yahweh Shai. Into the next lesson, Shalom.